dari Komplek Balai Budaya Minomartani Ngaglik Rempo. Inilah Radio BBM, Jaringan Radio Komunitas Yogyakarta.
Radio Komunitas Balai Budaya Minomartani. Radio Budaya, Radio Warga, Radio Kita Bersama.
Hello Warga Budaya. Thank you for listening to BBM FM Community Radio, Yogyakarta, Indonesia.
Community Radio BBM FM, Creation for Nation.
Radio Komunitas BBM FM. Dukunglah budaya Indonesia.
107.7 BBM FM Community Radio. Hi, warga budaya. I'm Johan Aranajati. You can call me Jojo, and I'm from Klaten. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are always healthy and happy. In today's occasion, we have two special guests. Can you guess who are they? Well, here are Mahda and Wisista. Hello Mahda. Hello Wisista.
Hello.
Hello.
Maybe warga budaya are curious about you guys. You may introduce yourself.
Hello, Warga Budaya. My name is Mahdalena Cintanugroho. You guys can simply call me Mahda. I'm from the second floor of Special Region of Yogyakarta. I'm from Gunung Kidul Regency, and here is my friend.
Hello Warga Budaya, my name is Igusti Agung Istri Wisista Dharma. Yeah, it's a quite a long name, but don't worry, I won't confuse you. You can call me Wisista. I came from the island of God, Bali, especially Denpasar.
Great. Now, we already know who our guests are. Well guys, I heard you visited Create Museum on Tuesday, 21st of November. Well, from the name of the museum itself, let me guess. You guys saw a train that looks exactly like it's in Harry Potter movie, right?
Oh no, you got it misunderstood. Kereta here means a carriage that is used by the Kraton royal family, whether it's for their daily activities or for important events such as weddings, inauguration, or other important events. It uses horses to pull the carriage.
Maybe you guys are familiar with Cinderella? And yeah, it looks more or less like that.
Ah, I see. I thought it was all about the train, but turns out it is more like a carriage. Alright, how was it guys? What was your first impression of the museum?
Well, at first, I thought this museum will look like an old unrenovated building, but turns out it looks more modern, neat, and clean.
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact, this museum used to be a stables for the royal family's horses.
Oh, really? That's awesome. It looks more interesting. Tell us more about it.
So, when the first time we entered the museum, we got a tour guide. He was Mas Dale. First, he explained to us about the history of the building when it used to become the stables until it becomes a Kereta Museum. The name of this museum is Wahanarata Museum. In Javanese, they pronounce it Wahanarata. Wahana means a place and Roto means the carriage. But before Wahanarata, the name was Kereta Kraton. This museum already got renovated and had the glow up. The renovation started in 2020 and finished in March 2023, so it is still quite new. Before it got renovated, the museum's yard was only dirt, but now it has already changed into a paving block. So, also the roof had a glow up. It's already using clay.
Yup, this museum used to be a horse stable and some of the buildings were houses for abdi dalam or the courtiers. But since 1985, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VII decided to turn it into a museum open to the public. But even though the building has been completely renovated, we can still find a piece of wood from the original stables. Wood from the horse stables before being renovated into a museum. It's been a long time and it's still strong. We are allowed to touch the wooden slats.
Then, we were directed to the history of the 10 Sultan in Keraton, but only available 7 out of 10 Sultan. Only the 4th until the 10 Sultan's picture are available to be seen. The 3 first Sultan did not have their picture since back then they believed that painting a person could shorten their life. Therefore, we can't see the pictures or the paintings of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Sultan. The 4th Sultan, named Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IV. He was born in 1804 on the 3rd of April. He had like a childhood name called Gusti Kanjeng Ratu Hageng. He was crowned when he was only 10 years old to replace his father, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono III. Do you know Pangeran Diponegoro?
Yes, of course. He's one of the national heroes of Indonesia who led the Diponegoro War or the Java War from 1825 to 1830, which is 5 years long against the Dutch colonial government.
Right. And also, you know what? Pangeran Diponegoro is the older brother of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IV.
Wait, so if Pangeran Diponegoro is the elder one, then why was he not the one who became the king of the kingdom?
Interesting question. That is because they were step brothers from 2 different moms. Pangeran Diponegoro is a son from a mistress. Meanwhile, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IV is a child from a queen, because the rule of the kingdom is to give the throne to the son of the previous sultan and must be the son of a queen. Therefore, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IV is the one who became the king at the time.
I see. I just knew it. But I'm curious, when did the 4th Sultan got married and how many kids does he has?
Alright, I was about to tell you guys this. Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IV got married when he was in his teenage year and had 18 kids, which 2 of his sons became the next 2 king, which are Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono V and Sultan Hamengkubuwono VI.
Okay, but you did mention that the throne should be given to the king's son. But why are they next to king are siblings?
Another good question. Well, it's because the 5th Sultan had 9 kids, but all girls. Therefore, the throne should be given to his brother, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VI.
Okay, now that makes sense. So, when did Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono V and Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VI got crowned?
Wow, try to guess.
Probably 10, 20? I don't know. What do you guys think, warga budaya?
Well, not even close. So, at what age, Mada?
The answer is Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono V got crowned when he was only 3 years old. Can you believe that?
What? 3 years old? And already becoming a king? What a surprising fact. But isn't it too hard for a 3 years old baby to rule a kingdom? He might not even be able to say a sentence yet.
I know, right? It's like Jipung who already become a sultan since he was a baby. But in this context, Jipung is like about being rich, not a real sultan.
But don't worry, there are people in the palace that help him during his reign.
Yeah, that's right. Or else it would be impossible since you give a big responsibility to a baby.
Alright then, glad to hear that. I thought the king's baby back then had a superpower or something, like a super baby. But why did he got crowned as at such a baby age?
Yeah, that's because his father, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IV, died at a young age. He died when he was 19.
That must be hard at that time, but fortunately the family went through it. Alright then, what about the other sultan?
Alright, let's continue to the next sultan. The next king is Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VII. The sultan is the one who has the most kids. Can you guess how many?
Another guessing game ya. Let's guess warga budaya. How many kids do you guys think the seventh king had? Probably about 30?
Still far away.
50?
No, try again.
What? Is it about 50?
Yes.
Wow, spectacular. 80?
Very close. It is 80 minus 2.
78? Really? Wow, that's unbelievable. With how many wives?
21 wives.
Wow, he must be very rich.
But not all sultan has more than one wife. Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono X only has one wife. Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono X was appointed Prince Lurah with the title KPH Mangkubumi. Before taking the throne as the Sultan of Yogyakarta, KPH Mangkubumi was familiar with various government affairs. He was often asked to help his father, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IX, who at that time was Vice President of the Republic of Indonesia. On October 2nd, 1988, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IX died, and KPH Mangkubumi was enthroned as Sultan with the title Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono K10. In addition to policies related to customs and cultures in the palace, Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono K10 also acts as governor of the special region of Yogyakarta, and government policies and urban development are fully his responsibility until now.
Wow, what an awesome king.
And we see the fun fact is all sultans use batik fabric with the same pattern called parang, right?
Right.
And in the past, batik parang could only be used by kings and their descendants. Ordinary people or even abdi dalam are not allowed to wear batik with this pattern.
Yeah, it's because the parang pattern is a symbol of kingship, power, greatness, and authority.
And in front of sultan paintings, there are 8 regalias with different shapes and meanings.
Oh, wait, what is regalia?
Regalia, or the heirlooms, is the thing that accompanies the sultan when they attend royal ceremonies at the palace. These regalia are called kanjeng kiai upacara, which are symbols of character that must be reflected by sultan and community leaders in general. The regalia would be carried by the virgin girls called manggung. They walk in a row in front of sultan during the walk out from dalam Ageng Prabayeksa, which is a place to store heirlooms, to Siti Hinggil Lor or North Siti Hinggil.
You said they have different shapes and meaning. How about that?
Oh yeah, the first one is in swan's shape, which symbolizes vigilance and purity. The second shape is deer, is a symbol of agility and quick decision making. Rooster is a symbol of courage, and peacock symbolize authority or beauty. The fifth regalia is dragon shaped and represents strength and responsibility. 5 of them are in animal shape, right? But 3 left are in a staff shape. Money box represents generosity. Handkerchief, or in Japanese we recognize it as kachu, is a symbol of forgiveness. And the last is the oil lamp, which represents enlightenment. All of these regalia are made of gold.
Wow, that's so interesting. What else do you guys get there?
In the next section, there are Wahanarata map and display of former horse stables, where there is a piece of wood from the original horse stable, which Mahda mentioned earlier. There are also some replica of horses used by the royal family, especially the horses used by Sultan.
That's right. There are 3 horse replicas. The first one is just a replica of an ordinary horse which used to pull the carriage, and the horses which used to pull royal carriage are specially selected based on the Japanese literature called katurangan. The second horse replica is called Wisnukoro. It's a black horse and the size is way bigger than the ordinary horse to pull the carriage because this horse is used during the coronation of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono IX.
And the last horse replica is called Kiai Durmasari. It's a white horse with similar size to Wisnukara horse, quite big too, and it was a royal horse during Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono the first era. It's also used by Sri Sultan's wife. The saddle attached to the horse body is an heirloom called Kiai Kanjeng Cekatak.
Well, personally, I can imagine how beautiful this horse would be if it was still alive.
Yeah, that's right. Then, in the next section, there are some displays of coachmen's clothes. They feature both old style and new style clothing. From old style clothes, there are 3 clothes with different colors. The first one is a uniform with blue color called Abdi Dalam Roto Wijayan. This is used by coachmen and courtiers who maintain the royal carriage. The second is the uniform with red color. This is for coachman assistants, or in Japanese called kanak. They help the coachman in controlling the speed of the horse by standing at the back of the carriage. Last clothes of the old style uniform is in black-green color called Abdi Dalam Rata Wijayan Baru clothes. It is used by coachmen and courtiers who maintain the royal carriage, just like Abdi Dalam Rata Wijayan Biru but with new color.
Wow. So it's basically for the coachmen and their assistants, right? How about the new style one?
The new style has 3 uniforms with 2 of them is in red color and 1 in yellow color. 2 red uniforms are used by each coachman and coachman assistant who stand at the back of the carriage. The thing that differentiates it is the number of lines on the uniform hand. For the coachman, there are 3 strips in their uniform, while coachman assistant only have 1 stripe on their uniform. And their hats are also different. The coachman, they use a coachman hat called tempeleng, and for their assistants, they use tempeleng kenek. And the last one in yellow color is used by Abdi Dalam Somatali or courtier Somatali who hold the horse rope to pull the carriage. The Somatali uniform consists of yellow uniform, black pants, batik fabric with a poleng pattern, and use white hat called kulu.
The coachman assistant in the back of the carriage also has a role to hold the umbrella for the passenger of carriage if the carriage has no roof. And the rule if there are a lot of carriages and each carriage has an umbrella, when the Sultan wants to use his umbrella, all the other umbrellas must be closed. The only umbrella that can be opened is the Sultan's.
Why is that? Is there any special meaning?
In short, to let people know that it is the Sultan, to inform the whereabouts of the Sultan, and of course, because the Sultan has a higher position and power, I guess. Moreover, the shape, ornament, and the color of the umbrella indicate someone's status or position in government. The Sultan's umbrella is fully made of gold, and his crown prince umbrella are made in 3 layers. The fewer shades of gold on the umbrella means the lower someone's position in government.
Ah, I see. So it's kind of to honor the Sultan, yes?
Yeah, but you know what, Joe? Usually, assistants cover someone with an umbrella not directly about their head, but they cover someone's shadow. It is because Javanese people believe that shadow is just like our twins.
Wow, that sounds quite magical. What else do you guys find there?
The next section is the most interesting part that we can do photo booth, right?
Yes. Yeah, we can capture our images with this sophisticated machine and then we can access them on our devices by scanning the QR code. That's so much fun.
Another interactive activity that we can do here is coloring the image with crayon and that we can scan them into motion picture, and it is bring us back to our childhood memory, right?
Yeah, before you mess up your picture with the wrong colors and make them look weird.
I'm sorry, I'm really bad at coloring.
No worries. Nobody's perfect. Now let's take a rest by playing a music. Stay tuned. Hi, warga budaya. Welcome back to 107.7 BBM FM Community Radio. Still with me, Jojo, and with our guests, Mada and Misista. Alright, now let's go back to our interesting topic. We are glad you are still with us. We still have a lot of interesting things that we will present, and we will dive deeper into the Creta Museum. Okay, guys, so after you do all the coloring thing, do you guys finally find the real family carriage?
Exactly. After that, we moved to the other building where the royal carriages are stored. They are stored at another building which has more open spaces and has wide high doors because the carriages are sometimes still used. So it is easier for them to be moved. The first royal carriage which is shown is called Koets number 10. It is made in Netherlands and it used in some special occasions such as trials and sentencing during 1870 and 1880.
Oh, really? So all the carriages are still used by the royal family?
Not all of them, just some of them.
Oh, I see. And then, what are the carriages that you guys find?
Next, there is Kiai Kotoko Harjo, which built in 1927 by Ed Kuystein Berlin Charlottenburg, Germany, and it was specially ordered for the Sultan's son-in-law, and it was pulled by 2 horses. The difference between Dutch and German carriage is in the front window. Dutch-made ones only have 1 window, while German-made ones have 2 or 3 windows.
The third is Kusgading in 1900. It was built by G. Berendesi, I'm sorry if I mispronounce, Semarang, and it was pulled by 2 horses. And then there is Kapulitin in 1925, which is only pulled by 1 horse. This carriage is used for travel and sports.
And then after that, there is Kiai Puspoko Malik carriage. It was built by Holland around 1901 and it was pulled by 4 horses. The carriage was used by the Sultan's family during the coronation procession.
And then there are some Landower carriage series. First is Landower Wisman is in the red color, Landower Surabaya in the black color, and Landower carriage in green color, and its roof can be often opened.
The last carriage of this section is Kiai Natapuro carriage, was built during the reign of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VII, and this carriage was pulled by 6 white horses and used by the commander. Kiai Natapuro is a carriage with a folding top. Recently, this carriage was used in the wedding of Princess Hayu and Prince Notonegoro in 2020 ago.
After that, we moved to the next section, and the first carriage that we found is the Kiai Ratabir carriage. As its name, the carriage is in blue color and it is pulled by 4 horses. Then there is Kiai Raja Pawaka carriage, which was Dutch made around 1900 and pulled by 4 horses as well. It's borrowed by Kadipaten Pakualaman for coronation of Pakualam X.
And Bedoyo Permili carriage is made in Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VIII era. It is pulled by 6 horses and used to pick the Bedoyo dancers and manggung kakung since it has a large capacity. This carriage can accommodate 16 people. And the Kiai Madrajuolo carriage is from reign of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono III around 1810 and 1830, pulled by 4 horses. This carriage was used by Prince Diponegoro when he was regent of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono V.
And then we move to the next carriage. This carriage is quite different compared with other carriages, right?
Before I know what carriage is this, I feel like this carriage is way more magnificent, like in terms of size, color, and ornamentation.
Yeah, and indeed it looks more glamorous than other carriages, but actually it is a carriage for carrying the Sultan's coffin to the royal cemetery in Imogiri, Bantul. The name of this carriage is Kiai Rata Pralaya. This carriage was used by the funeral of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono the 7th and the 9th. This carriage was pulled by 8 horses.
For the next carriage, Mas Dale informed us that we can't take the picture of this carriage due to some reason. This carriage is a heritage carriage for the Sultan's coronation named Kanjeng Nyai Jimat Carriage. It used by Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono I until Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono III. Even though this carriage has 2 seats, no one is allowed to get into this carriage except the Sultan. Even the Queen is forbidden to accompany the Sultan in this carriage. In this carriage, there is a small statue which make it very unique.
So, I'm curious. What if there is one of the cast that is taking a picture of this carriage? What would happen to them?
Oh, do you really curious or just curious?
Oh, I guess me and Warga Budaya are very curious about this. So please tell us about it.
Well, here, come a little closer. So, I also asked this to Mas Dale, the tour guide, about this case. Not to spook you guys, but this is a real story. There was a group of family from Surabaya that visited this Kereta Museum, but I forgot when. But the thing is, one of them took a picture of Kanjeng Nyai Jimat carriage. Then, do you know what happened next?
What?
After they took a picture of it, then boom, only the picture of this carriage that has disappeared from their gallery.
Oh, I got goosebumps. I'm sure that Warga Budaya feel it too.
Since it was a heritage carriage, this carriage will be washed once a year in the Jamasan ceremony, in the month of Sura on the Javanese calendar. This carriage is always washed together with one other carriage. So every year this museum washes 2 carriages, and the left water from washing the carriages is believed to bring many blessings.
So guys, if you want to get the blessings, you can come to Kraton when they do the Jamasan ceremony. Maybe you guys wanna get a lover or you wanna be prettier. You can ask for the left water and wash it to your face.
Yeah, it's nice tips, okay? So after that very magical carriage, we moved to Kiai Jogowiyat carriage, which was built in 1880 by Herman and Co. Den Haag. It used to lead the rehearsal of soldiers during the Garabak ceremony in Sultan Hamengkubuwono the 8th era, and used in the royal wedding of Princess Pembayun on May 28, 2002, years ago. And then the Kiai Jaladra and Kiai Manikretna carriage, both of them have similar structures. They are pulled by 2 horses.
And then Kiai Harsonobo carriage was built in Netherlands around 1860, and this is the private carriage of Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VI to Sri Sultan Hamengkubuwono VIII. It was used to watch horse races and unofficial ceremonies. Another carriage which used to attend unofficial ceremonies is the Kiai Jatayu carriage. This Kiai Jatayu carriage is the only carriage that uses electricity to power its lights.
And last but not least is the Landower Ngabean carriage. This carriage is dominated with yellow color with accents of red and black. There are lanterns in the front and the roof is covered with a black leather sheet. The carriage has been restored and repainted. It was used to transport foreign guests of the royal palace.
Wow, what an interesting long story about all these royal families' carriages. We've also got to hear a kind of spooky things about the carriage. And also, not only that, there are fun activities that you guys can do in this museum. That is a great thing because people might get bored when they visited a museum. And that is a good idea of providing it with interactive activities. And about that spooky things earlier, just remember to behave nicely and obey the rules in the place you are visiting so no bad things will happen to you. So, if you guys want to experience the things that Mahda and Visista have mentioned before, you can visit Wahanarata Museum that is located in
Rotowijayan Street, Yogyakarta City, special region of Yogyakarta. They are open from Tuesday to Sunday from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m.
If you want to enter, you have to buy the ticket for 20,000 rupiahs for adult domestic, 15,000 rupiah for child domestic, and around 25 until 30,000 rupiah for the foreign people.
Alright, what an insightful information. I guess we've been having a talk with Mahda and Visista for quite a while. And it was so fun, right, Warga Budaya? Okay, I guess it's time to end this sharing session. Thank you, Mahda and Visista, for being here, talking and sharing about your experience in visiting Wahanarata Museum. And thank you, Warga Budaya, for always being with us until this time. Don't forget to stay happy and healthy. See you. Goodbye.
Bye!
Terima kasih. Anda sedang mendengarkan Radio Komunitas BBM FM 107,7 MHz.
Dipancarkan dari kawasan Balai Budaya Minomartani, Radio Komunitas